Here our very special guest from Croatia. You're welcome.
Bye. Thank you.
So this is our colleague, maybe not exactly. You are working in the municipality of Zadar, and this is like a very interesting situation. Which we were very happy to discover that in the wonderful city of Zadar there is near it there is a village called Arbanasi. It's the same as with Bulgaria. In our village of Arbanasi, it depends on the guide you have. So some guides say these are some Greeks coming from Albania. So some guides say these are Albanians coming from Albania. Some guides say, okay, there was a village here before the Ottoman Empire, but then it got its name when people from the region of Albania came here. So you see, you hear different versions because we don't have really explicit written documents. Because I'm Bulgarian and I stand for my point of view, I would say that in the village of Arbanasi there are very strong water springs. Yes? Very strong water springs, several water springs. What I forgot to tell you yesterday when we were walking from the church to the house, on the way there was one very special spring for drinking water. And it was constructed during the Ottoman Empire. The inscription is in Turkish, in Arabic letters. We have two such springs. One is where the bus stopped. Sorry, I forgot to tell you about it, but in the center where the bus stopped, there was this is a really big one, and the one where we passed by. These were very strong springs in the medieval ages, but with time, in the past century, their water just is very limited. Actually, in one there is no water, and in the other there is pure water. But Arbanasi has one other spring still used today, so-called Malkulaku, and we have one very, very strong spring near one of the churches that is I'm not sure exactly the name, this is why I'm not going to say, but it's in this part of Arbanasi, which is close to the highway, and they constructed some years ago just a special kind of spring because it's really very powerful. And there is another spring which is on the highway. There was a mosque in this region, but it was destroyed very long time ago, so we don't really know where exactly it was. I only read information that it was close to the other thing. So this is a place situated just very close to our capital. You know, in the medieval time, capitals were just an important center, and there is this kind of, for the moment, legend, because we don't have archaeological proof, like findings from archaeology, but it is very probable just 1 kilometer from the main capital with so many water springs that you would normally expect to have some housing, even from that time, which is 14th century. It is just very logical because in the Middle Ages they didn't have our kind of pipe systems. So we were very proud as a city with our Arbanasi. Actually, together with Arbanasi, our city and Arbanasi, we applied for UNESCO for its special list of cultural heritage some time ago. So I don't know how far the procedure went, or was it cancelled, but we are like viewing Arbanasi as part of us. So this is why when our municipality found that there is a project very interesting to preserve cultural heritage of Arbanasi near Zadar. For example, I even didn't know that such a place exists outside of Bulgaria. We were very, very impressed. So I hope you tell us something more. Just please use your time as much as you need. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, everybody can do.
Okay.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
I'm Dina Bušić. Melita Ipković. Yes. I work in the municipality of Zadar as a head of the culture. And Melita is director of Concert Office Zadar, a public institution that is dealing with organizing concert events, classical, jazz, world music. But here we are in totally other role. We are part of our own Erasmus project because we applied to go to Bulgaria and to go to Calabria to see and to make a small research about urbanity here and about urbanity in Italy. I'm Arbaresh, I'm from Urbanasi, from Zadar, and I recorded some Arbaresh music because I'm a musicologist 20 years ago when I was a student. And then I met Melita, who is a great guitar player, and we made our own project. So we will tell you something about Arbanasi in Zadar and about our music project. And of course, we are inviting you today to our concert at 6 o'clock in Saravkina House Museum. But let's start.
Just a minute. So this is in our program is on Friday, but it will happen today.
For the start, we will show you what we have in Zadar right now that people, old people, sing, and what do they know today. That was something that was the basis for our project. So you will see old Arbanasi singing and
nema direktno veze kao sa harmonijom, ali da je sve u ovoj stanju bilo.
So e tuo nana si me do un sole cicciaia aio me fercon aio buk mujep dere bene giun melone me cepel une duo shum melone me cepel une duo shum
Nimerie canvana se masia kit maratonana tu milošom te dua jaki milosăși per mua me caroță che me votă me cusul me asăr plotă vana te me che me china vana ol siam dia Narbănes Narbănes copaisa tu bucra ia tu bucra mene nu vi me oficiala artoșcoi me Narbănes tu nu do cicar meri să nu chi marton
Na fusiote dite nar, Weise vogel kesto folber bili, Se per mua che mori, Weise vogel kesto folber bili.
So this were the old singers, my family, my friends, and this is what we had after a year and a half of recording and finding. You know, one person knew one fragment of one song, the other one knew something else. There were a lot of versions of everything because the language is also, we are losing it, of course, and of course the tradition, because you will see right now Arbanasi are in the center of the city of Zadar. So we will start right now. We will tell you something about the whole story. So this is Croatia, you probably all know. And we are in the city of Zadar, on the coast, beautiful, touristic, 3,000-year-old city.
Size of Veliko Tarnovo.
Yes, something around 1,700 people. So this is the city, the old town, also part of UNESCO, with the city walls, together with other 5 cities, Bergamo, Palmanova, Peschiera del Garda, Kotor in Montenegro, Šibenik and Zadar. We are in UNESCO from 2017. And Arbanasi are just behind, and now it is really pretty much the center, but it looks like a village in a city still today. So Arbanasi came from Škoder, and we say Skadar, Skadarsko jezero, Škoder Lake, from villages which are today, I think, part of Montenegro. We were there, Nolita.
Border of Montenegro and,
Yes.
and Albania.
Some of them in Albania, some of them in Montenegro. And they came to Zadar in 1730, 28 actually, and then in 3 huge parts with the support of Archbishop Vicko Zmajević, who was from Kotor and who knew about their life there, about their problems and the reasons they wanted to leave. So they came to Zadar with a boat. So this is the part of one old map of the part of Arbanasi, then called Borgo Erico, where they were given the land, so they could, you know, make something out of it. No, not only houses but agriculture. So they were some kind of suppliers for the city, and not only there in the center of Zadar, but they also got the land outside of Zadar. So there are also a few Arbanasi villages outside of the Zadar. But it's so funny, outside of Zadar they lost language, tradition, culture, everything, but in the center of the city they kept it. It's so interesting. So when they came, they already, in Zadar was already built this fountain, beautiful one, from 16th century, but with the boats they came here and they built their houses in this really, really attractive, beautiful place. Now, this is the old photo, of course, but the beach is beautiful, a lot of sun and a lot of nice views. So, we can say now one interesting story. Melita, maybe you can say that about Arbanasi being the oldest inhabitants of Zadar and the history.
Yeah, because the city of Zadar has a very turbulent past. It was pretty much destroyed during the Crusades in 1202, and during the Second World War, being part of Italy, it was bombed by the Allies, and of course now in the latest of many wars in 1991. So pretty much every of those historical situations completely erased the inhabitants from the city. They were forced to leave. So today we are having this situation that the Arbanasi who came here in the 18th century now are the oldest inhabitants of the city. Because throughout the history it was Croatian town, Italian, and so on and so. So it's a tradition that is kept for a long time. I mean, with changes to speech, to language, to...
Yes, the language is specific. It's a Geg, Albanian, but also during these centuries it was mixed with Croatian and Italian. It is very simple. When they forget something and don't know some word, they just put the Italian, of course that was under Italy for a long time, or put Croatian, or just put Croatian and spell it like Albanian. It's so funny. So when we were in Shkodër and we had a concert, it was a pretty nice situation. We didn't know where we will play, and then we played in the fortress Skadar na Bojani, huge place, and there were around 2,000 or 3,000 people there.
Not coming just for us,
No,
for the festival.
Yeah, big huge festival, and then we came, and after our concert, when people heard that kind of language, it was so emotional for them because it was archaic, old, something totally forgotten, and some of the older inhabitants and people from the audience knew some songs, of course, that they heard from their grandparents. About music, because we are musicians, both of us, my family is huge family. They all like to sing, whether they know to sing or not, but they all sing. Arbanasi are very famous in Zadar, famous singers, also pop singers, modern singers, because the tradition was very, very rich. So here you can see some of the old Arbanasi musicians with, of course, ethno dresses, and this is something newer, 20th century, but they were always singing in a manner of Italian bel canto, because they were very, very fascinated with that period, and of course about the connection of Italy and Zadar, you probably all know. We were connected really for a long time.
What is interesting to add, so they had a rich history of singing of songs, but they never did it in Arbaresh language.
Yeah, in a newer time. For me, it was funny when I asked my grandparents, do they have any kind of song in Arbaresh? They said yes, of course, but they never sang at home. Because it was a problem. They lived near the city, and people were sometimes having, laugh and fun of them, because it was not that popular to be Arbaresh at that time. But they were, of course, speaking while they were fighting with each other, my grandparents, or when, of course, they were with their friends. So in 1998, when I asked them, I was 19 then, back then, and I've never heard one song in Arbaresh. So if I wasn't a musicologist, searching and asking, probably they wouldn't sing at all. So it is, on one way, normal situation, because you had Italy, you had Yugoslavia, then Croatia. A lot of things happened in 100 years, and they were there. They always stayed there. The land was given to them, and they had to, live through all that and be there. They didn't have any place to go. So, but now we are lucky that we are living in a time that we can be proud of it, and that we can, of course, make a history and heritage out of it, but the bad thing is that we are losing. We are losing the language, we are losing even music, and we didn't know actually until we finished this CD and this project that it was like made in the last minute. So these are some of music ensembles in Arbanasi. For example, this is a choir. Yes. There are Catholics there, of course, and they have some songs in Arbaresh, church songs that they were composed by Shime Deshpal, one of the most important Zadar composers, whose children, Pavle Deshpal, Walter Deshpal, and Maja Deshpal, are famous classical musicians. One of them is a conductor, cellist, and violinist, so very, very famous in Croatia. This is our band.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is pre-Banasi phase.
Yeah.
Because it didn't start this way. We found this project, or it found us, so to speak. Dina and me, we met on completely different bases through our mutual love for Brazilian music, bossa nova and samba, and that's how we started to play. And it wasn't until 2017 that we started that we were asked to play a few of Arbanasi songs by a lady who is also a very important part of the story, who was presenting her dictionary of Croatian Arbarash dictionary. So she approached Dina and asked her, "Can you please prepare a few songs of your grandma? You know,
this is my grandma.
In a couple of days we will have a book presentation, and bring your guitar player with you." It was me. So we did it in a couple of days, because Dina remembered that songs that she researched 20 years ago, back then, for a musicology project at the Academy of Music. So it was that important spark that we started that very day when we played those few songs in front of the audience. Some of older people started to cry because they haven't heard those songs since the childhood.
This is my grandfather.
Ah, singer.
One in the middle.
Yeah.
Passionate.
So then, after that emotional reactions, we figured that it's something important, that we are holding in hands something that's very valuable, and that we are obliged in a way to follow that idea.
Yes. These are pictures from my family. They all like to sing very, very much.
Huh?
And this woman in the middle, that's Maximiliana Barancic. She's an author of 2 dictionaries, Arbaresh Croatian, Croatian Arbaresh. And she is the one that asked us, and then the whole thing started. And the main, you see, he's not with us anymore. He's also my cousin. He was a kind of local actor in Arbaresh, so they are very, very precious to us, and they helped us really, really a lot. And then after 17 years after I recorded, we started to record our CD. It was on the island of Zlarin. We wanted to record it in a church with good acoustics. So we collaborated, this is the church in Zlarin, beautiful also place. We collaborated with our friend Marin Fulgozi, who was recording us, and we included some great musicians. One of them is Miroslav Tadic, maybe you know him. He is famous with, he plays a lot with Vlatko Stefanovski. And he actually works in LA, but in a few days in Belgrade we will go to his concerts. Yes, he's a guitar virtuoso, and he really helped us a lot because he works a lot with Balkan folklore, not only Macedonian but Serbian, Croatian, and etc. And this is Yvette Holdsworth. She is an American violinist. She's together also with us on the CD. And this is your friend, Melita.
This is Edin Karamazov, famous Bosnian musician, lutenist and guitar player. And we were lucky that all three of musicians that were guests on our project, they found our music attractive, so they asked us, like, can we play with you? And then we said, of course, we will be privileged to have you with us. So Edin is a great expert on early music. He played a great deal of projects, including Sting, including Jordi Savall, and he has an enormous knowledge on the subject of early music and traditional music, and on the other hand, Miroslav has a great knowledge on folklore of the Balkans. And
but I have to say the biggest job in the field of music Melita actually did, because they were that smart to follow her, just to give some hints. And the thing is that all musicians are very, very happy when they find something that is, you know, rough and not touched by anyone else. So that is really true. They wanted, you know, to be part of it, and no one paid nothing in this project really. So this is our producer, Marin Fulgozi. We mixed our CD in Sweden together with this man, Jan-Erik Persson, one of the greatest European producers. He also helped us like completely for our project. And yes, this is the cover of our CD.
We were also lucky with the cover. Lucky in a way that it was made by a painter from Zadar. Josip Zanki is his name. And in fact, when we approached him about the subject, he already had
this painting for
this
us.
image of a nightingale.
Yes.
So it was
so we have
a lucky meeting.
We have some kind of we've chosen 10 songs. First one is of course something that you saw on the beginning, because we wanted the audience to know what we had for our basis. And after that we choose songs from Arbanasi, old songs, but also we choose few songs that we know that Arbanasi in Italy sing. Those songs are all like love songs, children's songs, songs about Arbanasi, really, really emotional. And the one of them, Berbili, Nightingale, maybe the most interested one, is a song that we all here on Balkans sing under other name, and we share it. But we founded the version in Arboresh. Maybe you know about the movie Čija je ovo pesma by Adela Peva. It is a song that is sung in Bosnia, Croatia, Serbia, here in Bulgaria, in Macedonia, in Turkey even. And she made a movie about people arguing whose song is it, because everyone wants their songs to be ours and very, very authentic from here or from there. So that is why we sing this song in 3 different languages, in Turkish, Bosnian, and in Arboresh. And if you have time, maybe we can
Absolutely,
put it here.
I'd like to hear.
Yeah.
In YouTube.
Yeah.
And we have the same song in Bulgarian, and also it should be in Greek, and maybe also in Romanian. So this movie was, whose song is that? So this journalist, she went in all these countries asking this question. So in all the countries, this was a very famous song, and everybody claimed this is their song.
It's ours. Just kidding, of course.
Има дни, в които си казвате, за днес толкова, заслужих си го. Тогава направете главопоръчка. Дни, в които забавлението няма край. Защо да не направим главопоръчка? добър край. Или очаквам. Глово, вие поръчвате, ние доставяме.
The video is recorded in Zadar, near Zadar.
It's better.
Yeah.
Sorry. be part, of course, of your Erasmus. And thank you all from the city of Tarnovo and of the university for inviting us here. Thank you.
So, if I may say a few words, maybe I may speak on your name on behalf of the Albanian colleagues. I am Albanian. So, I would like to thank you very much for your love, for your will to inherit the culture and its characteristics, and moreover for your efforts and your passion to show the world who you are. We are proud of that. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are any questions, of course, we are here to
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you make any photos? Can you please upload the photos in our WhatsApp group? So I promise I will go to this concert tonight. For those who are traveling tonight, I will just post some video clips with your music so that everybody can see, because some colleagues will travel tonight. So.